In this module, we will learn how to create 2D families such as labels or symbols. By selecting New, I find the annotation folder, and let's see that here we have a separate list of templates for 2D descriptions. Some with a tag name, some dedicated for section symbol or elevation symbol. If we would like to create such a basic label in this lesson, for example for the wall, note that in this list you will not find something such as metric wall tag. We have a template, for example, for a window or a door, but for a wall, template doesn't exist. In Revit, it is solved in such a way that we have a metric generic template. I click open, and because practically all labels look pretty much the same, there is no characteristic things such as wall where we have in a window template. Here in this template everything looks almost the same, and let's see what this text hint tells us here. It says that in the properties of this family and category and parameters, we should set the category of this description. Additionally, that the intersection point is the insertion point, and we can delete this after using it, after reading it. So I delete, go into family, category and parameters, and here we have the full list of all the possible categories. You can see that it would be a bit pointless to create for each of these categories a separate template. This list would be very long. And here we can switch from generic tag and select wall. We can also use the search engine and find it. Let's see what is included in such template. There is only one 2D flat view. On the Create tab, of course, we will not find modeling tools. And here we have 3 tools that we use most often: text, line, and label. Remember that all descriptions are drawn at a scale of 1:1. So if I draw a line of 3 mm, then 3 mm will be visible on the final printout later. I would like the wall label to be inscribed in a rhombus shape, so I use create line, not to be confused with reference lines. Reference lines are invisible in the project and they only serve as an auxiliary aspect, and I select a polygon consisting of 4 points. And now I'm going to draw a rhombus like this, for example. I create and insert a label. Notice that a label symbol appears next to the cursor. I click any point, and now in the list appears the properties of the wall category. And here we have, for example, type mark parameter, which I can move to this table, enter a sample value, for example, S1. This is just for us during design process of this label, so that we can know much more or less what volume, what width it occupies, so we can make sure that it will look good in the end project. The label has a certain text style applied to it, which we can also edit. If I select edit type and choose duplicate, here I can change the size of such font, its style, boldness, and so on. So here I think it's clear what is happening. I may redraw the polygon again. I will choose create line polygon and will make sure it's a little bit bigger. Okay, and that's basically it. As far as this line, this is the leader of of this label, it will be added directly in the project. We don't have to draw it. And just to fully understand how the labels work, maybe you don't know it, I will open a new project. Now I will choose Annotate Tag by Category and have the leader option active. Then there is this line of a certain length, which value I enter directly in the project. As you probably know, labels are dynamic description. That is, they read a specific property of an object. In this case, my label reads the value of type mark. Let me remind you, if I reselect this one, click Edit Label, then we have chosen the type mark parameter. If I want to edit this wall, that is, I select it and click Edit tab, then we will find, of course, this type property, which is empty now. So when I enter a value, it automatically gets inserted into the label. If we are still not satisfied with the shape of this frame, we can always go back to the label and again make some changes here. For example, I will change the size of this text to the 1.5 millimeter. I also change the name for the sake of keeping an order. I will load it into the project and overwrite. Once again, I emphasize that the list of properties of both instance and edit type, in particular identity data, overlap with the list that we can find inside label. Selecting the label tool, once again, if I want to insert something, then this list coincides exactly with my walls properties in the project. And I could, for example, to this label add information about fire rating. I pass this value, select, change the style to whatever I want. Here the width of this frame defines for us at what point the wrapping of text will happen. If this frame would be very narrow, it will basically fit only 3 characters, and then a new line will appear. If it is wider, well, there we will have more space. We can also set some other properties such as alignment relative to the top or left or right. If a given parameter if the wall is not filled, it will be marked as a question mark in the project. So we can edit this property by going to Edit the Wall, or also do it directly from the label by typing a value here.